on Mother's Day, 1968. Amelia was 18 when she discovered, at Bettina's deathbed, that she wasn't her parents' biological daughter. Her father, Calvin Crenshaw, the man she'd grown up believing was her father, told her she'd been abandoned as a newborn in Park Baptist Church. He said he'd discovered her in the basket, wearing the dress and a little gold sapphire-studded signet ring, which she'd lost years ago. She settles on the couch and makes room for her coffee mug amid remnants of a solo New Year's Eve, protein bar wrapper, empty wine glass, half-empty bottle of Cabernet. Not half full. Not today. She'd welcomed the prospect of quietly winding down the season after a rollicking Ithaca Christmas, but New Year's is about nostalgia for Auld Lang Syne and resolution for the year ahead. Her own future, and yes, her past too, couldn't be more uncertain. A recent surge in autosomal testing has made her job easier as lab results are processed and loaded into online databases. A few months ago, she'd finally received a genetic hit on her own bloodline. The long-awaited biological match hadn't resolved the mystery, though. Far from it. Her DNA test had linked her to a woman in Bettina Crenshaw's tiny southern hometown, right back to Bettina's own family tree. If Bettina was Amelia's biological mother, had Calvin been her biological father? Why would he have made up a crazy story about finding her in a church? Bettina's Georgia kin have been no help. Her closest cousin claimed she knew nothing about the Crenshaws taking in an abandoned baby. Yet when Amelia pressed her with the details, she said, "I don't know about any initial rings for babies." Amelia had never mentioned that it was an initial ring specifically, engraved with a little blue enamel C. Why the lie? Could Bettina's southern relatives have been part of a cover-up? Or am I just paranoid? Amelia channel surfs past political news and bickering pundits as the media ramps up for the upcoming Trump inauguration. She also skips images of cozy flannel-clad couples and merry multi-generational gatherings, having almost made it through this season of homey, twinkle-light-lit commercials that remind her of happier holidays. Clicking along, she spies a familiar face, not her own, though she appears later in this episode of Black historian Nelson Roger Cartwright's The Roots and Branches Project. She's been working for a few years now as an on-air genealogy consultant for the program. With Nelson's new book on bestseller lists, the cable network is airing a holiday weekend marathon to attract his readers and the hundreds of thousands of people who received DNA test kits this Christmas. Amelia turns the channel to a local newscast and swaps the remote for her steaming coffee mug, waiting for a weather report. If today is nice, she'll kick off 2017 with a long run in the park. If not, she supposes she'll watch the Sugar Bowl, though it won't be much fun without Aaron. The anchorman returns her bleak gaze. In Bedford-Stuyvesant, where the violent crime rate continued to drop last year, a double homicide at the Marcy houses yesterday left a mother and daughter dead and neighbors looking for answers. The scene shifts to an elderly man standing on a Brooklyn street, with a yellow crime scene taped brick doorway behind him. "Don't know why anyone would do something like that to decent people," he says, shaking his bald head. "They didn't bother anybody, and they didn't have anything worth stealing." The screen fills with a pair of close-up photographs of the victims. The older woman is vaguely familiar. The younger is... The bodies of 53-year-old Alma Harrison and her 31-year-old daughter, Brandy. Amelia gasps, sloshing hot coffee over her hand. Were discovered late yesterday in their apartment by out-of-state relatives who grew concerned when they failed to show up at a family gathering. Police are seeking information and have ruled out robbery as a motive for the brutal slayings. believed to have taken...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.